You might recognize my next guest from the Ultimate Fighter Season 30, Kaytlin Neil, who's getting ready to return on the PFL Challenger Series. How's it going, Kaytlin?
I'm awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks again for the time. Really do appreciate it. First things first, just kind of talk to me about how this opportunity with the PFL Challenger Series came about, and what was your reaction?
Yeah, so I guess PFL is trying to build their flyweight bracket, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I'm happy that my manager reached out to me, and we worked my way into it. So I'm really stoked about it.
I was about to ask you about that because obviously the PFL is launching the flyweight division. That's got to be exciting. How much would it mean to you to not only get that contract, but to also, be one of the bigger names in the division?
Yeah, I mean, I love that they're actually like building division, like starting from scratch, and they're needing a face and a champion for it. And I feel like I fit the bill. So, I mean, let's do it.
What's been kind of your impressions of the PFL from the outside with quick turnarounds in between fights? Obviously, you got big names like Kayla Harrison. I guess, what do you know about the PFL right now?
Yeah, so I've been following Kayla Harrison for a long time now. But I love the promotion. I love that they pay their fighters. I think it's exciting, and I like the way that it's not a typical like an MMA fight card. Like you're in points, there's different scoring, there's a smart cage, and there's different like elements to it that makes it a little bit more exciting. So I think it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And you got to win your last fight against Hannah Guy and Victor 49. Obviously, it's got to feel good. Talk to me a little bit about the leaps and bounds that you've made in terms of your training and your development from before your time on The Ultimate Fighter compared to now.
Yeah, so I think going through the Ultimate Fighter is one of the best things that could have happened to my fight career. It was one of the most mentally like challenging things I've been through, and so being able to go through that little like pressure cooker, I think it is going to help me with all of my upcoming fights. I won't get as like anxious about the little things, or if stuff goes wrong or like not according to plan. I am going to be able to handle that a lot better just because on the Ultimate Fighter, you were just completely out of your comfort zone. You're placed in a house, living with people you're fighting. And it was just the whole thing was incredibly uncomfortable. And so it makes like fighting outside of there, like I wouldn't say like comfortable, but it's like way less stressful.
I was about to ask you about that. Like, do you feel like you almost improved more or about the same mentally than you did physically? Because obviously you're going to learn from some of the best in Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena. But in terms of the experience overall, just kind of talk to me about the mental development.
Yeah, mainly mentally, just because like random things were pushed onto you every single day. I think they were trying to like make a TV show out of it too. So there was a lot of random like things that would pop up. There's drama and like kind of that stuff thrown into the mix of not only like just dieting and preparing for a fight. So I think mentally, like that has made me so much stronger. And I think that's kind of what I needed to, like with my career. I think you saw it in my last fight. I was like pretty dang dominant in that fight. So I'm happy that I was able to finally like fight more close to my potential.
What's something about your time on The Ultimate Fighter that might have surprised you in terms of comparing to how you were heading into it?
So I am very much a planner, and I like things like laid out and to go smoothly. And this is what I'm doing this day. And this is like what I should expect. So just being able or just like to have things like pop up and just like not care about it and be like, whatever. I'm not going to make that like, I'm not going to let that stress me out anymore. I'm just going to like keep moving forward. So I think that's the biggest thing is just like not being like thrown off if things don't go exactly according to my plan.
Talk to me a little bit about how you first got into fighting. Like, what was the moment that you kind of realized that this is not only just something you do, but it's also a passion, right? So kind of what was that moment in terms of when you realized that this was something you wanted to do long term?
I mean, the day I walked into the gym and decided I was going to be a fighter, I knew I was going to do it long term. I've been an athlete ever since I was little, but I did like dance, gymnastics, and cheerleading. And then I didn't make the college cheer team. And so that's why I started fighting in the first place, just because I wanted a sport or like a goal, something to achieve. And I saw that fighters were fighting like up into their mid 30s, early 40s. I'm like, oh, I can do this for a really long time if I want to. So I knew when I committed, I was going to like stay with it for years. So and I ended up actually liking it, thank goodness. I know a lot of people try it out and be like, yeah, it's not for me. So I'm glad I actually liked it.
Was it kind of the longevity that kind of brought your attention to it? Obviously, you mentioned your time in cheerleading and all that. Like, did you kind of see it as more of like a multi-year endeavor in terms of comparing it?
Yeah, I just wanted to be an athlete for as long as possible and compete in something. So I think even after I'm done fighting, I'll probably do like bodybuilding competitions or like CrossFit competitions or like something along the line where I'm still like working towards a goal and competing.
How would you describe your style inside the cage to those PFL fans that might know you from The Ultimate Fighter but not have watched a lot of your fights? How would you describe your style in the cage?
So I like to say my fight style is a cat fighter. It kind of goes off of like catness, the whole theme. But I'm pretty well rounded. I started everything all at once. Most of my fights stay standing. I'm a pretty dynamic striker. I'm very technical. I have been working on my aggression, so and just like smart aggression, and so that's kind of what you'll be able to see. But also, I love going to the ground too. So, I mean, for this next fight, I kind of see it going like staying on the feet if I feel good. If I don't feel good, or if I get caught or something, I'll feel totally comfortable taking it to the ground too. So.
Are there some fighters around the sport that you like watching and maybe learning a thing or two from in terms of just watching them fight and watching them compete?
Yeah, I mean, Amanda Nunes is a big one. I mean, I met her. She's awesome. And obviously, she's like an insane fighter. So, obviously, just pick up whatever I can from her. And then I really like Rose Namajunas and her style. And then Adrian Yanez is someone that I really like too. That's a male. I really like his style.
Absolutely. Last question for me before we wrap things up here. I'll give you the floor to give a message to the PFL fans. What can they expect from you in the Challenger Series and going forward?
Yeah, so I mean, you guys can expect a really exciting fight, but not only just like a really fun fight to watch, but also I'm kind of a fun person to follow on social media. I try to keep it light and funny and entertaining and kind of like make jokes and stuff out of training, whereas a lot of fighters are like very serious and like take everything like so serious. So I try to keep it light, try to keep it funny. So I mean, I think I'll entertain you inside and outside of the cage, and I think it'll be a good time. And I hope you guys tune into my fight February 24th and watch this dominant performance go down.
Well, Kaytlin, it was great to meet you. Great to chat with you. I definitely have a feeling we'll chat again soon. And thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
All right. I appreciate you.